where your kids can participate in a school here in Oakland that's taught by community members and has a curriculum that's similar to ethnic studies in UC Berkeley, but at a 2-year-old, 4-year-old level. So she has been spending years and years of her life dedicated to making good things happen, like the 2 little babies that she has here, and all of the students that have been a part of being influenced by Prishni. If Prishni has taught you anything, put your hand in the sky. So I want to ask everybody to focus their attention and listen to Prishni and pay respect to all the work that she's done for us, all the work that she will do for us when she writes all this shit that we've done down. Y'all can buy her book at some time in the future. Can you guys give it up one time for Prishni Murillo? Thanks. Really humbled to be here. But I also want to give props to the artists that have been here, starting with Deuce Eclipse. When I started working out here in East Oakland in high school, he came out to Fremont High for Unity Week and spit game to the youngsters that had never heard nothing like him. And so if you can get a chance to support him, or Mass Bass is dope people bringing the message to the people. So, primeramente me da mucho honor de estar aquí estos pocos momentos para decirles de que estoy muy agradecida de poder convivir y abajo de este sol, este lindo día. Pero también mi trabajo es enfocarnos en el momento en el que estamos. Mucho tiempo nos hemos enfocado en lo que dice el pendejo de Trump, mucho lo que dicen las noticias sobre los inmigrantes. Pero hoy quiero redirigir nuestra atención en lo que es lo que estamos haciendo localmente en nuestras comunidades. Es más importante, más poderoso que nos conocemos a nuestros vecinos, que sepamos quiénes los que tienen el poder en nuestra comunidad y que conocemos a nuestros vecinos de diferentes razas, de la raza negra, asiática y hasta de los blancos que conviven en nuestros apartamentos y en nuestro vecindario, porque lo que le pasa a ellos nos pasa a nosotros, pero de diferente manera. So I'm happy to be here, and I spoke in Spanish because prior to speaking English on these lands, people spoke Spanish up in here. And before people spoke Spanish in Oakland, they spoke Ohlone. And prior to that, there might have been another language. And that's part of what this day is about. When we say Chicano moratorium, we're not just talking about ending the war in Vietnam a long time ago and ending a war abroad. We also were speaking about a war here at home. And when we said Chicana with an X and an A at the end, and my brothers who stand on my side will say Chicanas and power, it is because we're trying to reclaim who we are. And part of that reclaiming is taking power, not only of how we dress and how we identify, but also the power in our relationships in our communities. And that's part of the days that that's part of the celebration that we're here to do. August 29th has power. Our ancient ancestors kept multiple calendars because they understood that history and time taught us lessons. But it has been since the arrival of the foreigners from across the Atlantic Ocean that we lost contact with our calendars and took up a foreign calendar that forces us to forget what we should be paying attention day to day. But thank God for August 29th. In August 29th, 1970, Raza Chicanos in the Southwest took to the streets after mobilizing for over 2 years to unify against the war in Vietnam, but also to unify with the Black Power movement, with the Red Power movement, with the Yellow Power movement, demanding justice here at home. Because the military machine that was killing folks abroad was gonna send to go kill relatives that look like us. Many of us have family in El Salvador, in Nicaragua, and Guatemala, who were funded and attacked by the same military that our brothers and cousins signed up and recruited today. So part of our work is really to commemorate and think about August 29, 1970, and think about the people that were killed. Ruben Salazar. People want to uplift Jorge Ramos, but we had Ruben Salazar, and he was killed for the news that he covered. He was known as the first Chicano journalist to write about police brutality happening across all the barrios in LA and across the Southwest. We know right now there's an epidemic of murders at the hand of the police against our black brothers and sisters. And we need to stand and fight for those issues, because the same training that police officers are receiving to kill folks in our community are the same folks that are being trained to go to the borders and kill our brothers and sisters coming up for survival. There's creation stories that said from the northern natives, from the Hopi, that said people migrated south, and that's how the rest of Native America was populated to the south. But now we're coming back north. And part of us knowing that we'll soon be the majority is then taking responsibility to what's happening to the most oppressed in our community. Sometimes it may not be brown people. Sometimes it might be folks that look very different than us. And we need to unite in the fight and really lift up the fact that, you know, Black lives matter, Native lives matter, but more importantly, power matters. Whatever color that our neighborhood looks like, we need to make sure that power reflects that. But more importantly is that we're manifesting real power. Our ability to control our resources, the dollars that we spend, who owns, and who teaches our kids. And so if there's anything to remember, is that August 29th connects us to New Orleans and what happened 15 years ago. Because in a crisis of natural proportion, of real power, they were taken from their lands and their resources. And when I talk about needing to prepare and focusing here today, that's what we need to talk about. What lessons has August 29th throughout history taught us? We can only tell, but today we're forcing everybody to focus. August 29th is a day to remember and a day to pay attention to and to draw lessons from. Because the only way any of us will get free from slave labor, slave wages, from unjust migration, from being killed at the border on our block, from being killed from people that look like us, is when we start valuing ourselves and valuing each other above and beyond the values that were brought on the boat in 1492. So con eso, mucho respeto, and all humbleness, all power to the people.